Hello, friends, and welcome to Step Up Lives. Step Up Lives, changing lives of many people out there.
Derek, is there an echo from at your place?
Yeah, now it's clear. I got some kind of echo.
Yeah,
It's
now
called
now
just
it's working fine. Yeah, let's go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, welcome, friends, to Step Up Lives and Alu Connect, connecting happiness. And for today, we have Kumail Lakhani, who will sail us through for career and mechanical engineering. Kumail, welcome on board.
Thank you, Derek. And it feels a little strange to be on the other side of the window where I'm asking the questions, and this time I am on this side of it. So it's nice to be here.
Thank you. Life is all about, being in the ring. Sometimes you're out of it, sometimes you're inside it. So you got to take that
Right.
feel on.
Correct.
Komal, I have this take about mechanical engineering, which I would like to tell my viewers. Doctors and teachers, the police fraternity, and the municipal corporation, people are working for the municipal corporation. All these people, their profession is called the noble profession. And I do respect it, and we all respect it in a great way. Now, when we talk about mechanical engineering, people just, shy away from it. They don't even bother to listen to what it is.
Right.
Now, let me get one point before we take off. Mechanical engineering, if it would not exist, things would be like the doctor would not be able to perform the surgery. You will not be able to sit on a chair. You will not be in an aircraft. You will not be on a ship or your train or your vehicles. So,
True.
mechanical engineering is a part of the entire planet.
Correct.
And let's talk about it, Kamal.
Yeah, you absolutely, I mean, put the nail on the head about the concept of mechanical engineering being everything that's being dreamt of and imagined. To come to reality, you need mechanical engineering, as in the physical mechanics, the design part of it, construction of parts, assembly, the operation. So, mechanical engineering forms a very, I mean, a big base for the engineering among all the engineering communities. I would not try to say that, yeah, other engineering communities are not that important, but yeah, I'd like to say mechanical engineering appears in, I think, most of the products, electrical, mechanical, and civil, as well as all areas you would find mechanical engineering.
Kamal, I feel it is present in every field, right from your farming, right up to farming to your space.
Correct.
Everything is mechanical engineering. I mean, you have and you need gadgets everywhere. Now,
Correct.
what do you do as a mechanical engineer?
Yeah. So coming to myself, I'm a mechanical engineer. I've done my diploma certification, then I have done my degree certification, then I've done my master's as well in mechanical engineering. And what
Mhm.
I do for a living is I design power transformers. So I'm
Okay.
into the mechanical design of power transformers. So those transformers are something which transmit power from various locations within the country.
Hmm.
So that's the big unit, something maybe around 10 feet, I mean 10 meters, also high
Okay.
by 5 meters wide, something like that. It's completely designed by us. And so that's how is my daily work involving designing mechanical components, how stuff would sustain the wind, the pressure, the
Mhm.
load that's coming onto it. So
Right.
my job really revolves around that.
And because your job revolves around that, we enjoy the electricity and other things out here.
So true. I mean, it happens that most of the people are, I mean, do not understand the importance of a lot of components. But yeah, that's also when you come in contact or you interact with people, you
Hmm.
come to know what components are designed by what kind of engineers. And
Hmm.
when we come to this discussions, it's always nice for people to have a perspective that what
Right.
kind of engineering would be more suited for a particular person as well.
And for anyone to get into this field of engineering, what are the qualification one should look out for?
So mainly, whenever somebody wants to get into engineering, the process is that firstly, when they complete their 10th standard, they have to opt for the
Mhm.
science field.
Okay.
Science in the sense physics, chemistry, and maths combination is needed to have on board after they are 12th to go to the engineering stream. So once
Okay.
they complete their 12th in science, now
Hmm.
there are a lot of engineering institutes also in the country.
Hmm.
One of them, the biggest ones are, as you are aware, the IITs. Then
Right.
comes the NITs, which are the National
Hmm.
Institute of Technologies, and
Right.
then comes the state level engineering colleges. So the
Hmm.
qualification criteria is that first you complete your 12th, and then there are entrance examinations.
Okay.
And these entrance examinations vary from based on what kind of engineering college you want to aim at.
Hmm.
So if you're going for IIT, you will have JEE Main, JEE Advanced. If you and for also for your NITs, that is
Hmm.
the National Institute of Technology, you will have JEE Main. And for the
Right.
other ones, for example, the state colleges like
Hmm.
Maharashtra, they will have their MHT CET there. So once people qualify for that, then they enroll into a 4-year course, which
Okay.
is which you call as the bachelor's degree course.
Hmm.
So once a person completes that bachelor's degree course in engineering, so they are known as Bachelor of Engineering (BE), or if they complete from IIT, they are called BTech, Bachelor of Technology. So that's how it functions.
And does it have any kind of entrance exams?
Yes, yes. So actually, there are, when you complete your 12th, you will have
Hmm.
an entrance exam, which is called the. You must have heard in the news also recently about the NEET and JEE
Yes.
examinations being still
Right.
held under
Right.
COVID, because
Right.
JEE is actually the examination for entrance to NITs.
Hmm.
So JEE Main, JEE is the entrance name that is there. People have
Right.
to IIT JEE. You must have heard a lot of
Yes.
boards also promoting it. So that is the entrance exam that people have to go through to get into the engineering colleges like IITs as well as NITs. For the engineering colleges which are within our state, for example, VJTI, or if you talk about Sardar Patel College of Engineering in Mumbai, these colleges have their entrance via the MHT CET. So
Okay.
Maharashtra Common Entrance Test. So if you
Hmm.
qualify there, then you can apply to all these colleges, and then you have a 4-year course. And I want to add that if you don't want to go through this entrance program,
Okay.
there is also a bypass route. But this
Hmm.
bypass route has a lot of competition as such, because if
Okay.
somebody, there is a lot of competition when you talk about bachelors of engineering. But if
Right.
you want to do a diploma course, so
Right.
diploma course is something like you start from your 10th. After
Okay.
completion of your 10th, you join an
Hmm.
engineering diploma course. You do not do
Okay.
your 11th and 12th.
Got it.
You
Right.
directly enroll into a 3-year diploma course. I
Hmm.
did that.
Okay.
And once you do that, then you get an entry into the second year of engineering bachelor's
Right.
degree.
Okay.
So that's
Hmm.
also one way. And I
Right.
suggest people to take up the diploma as well, because
Hmm.
it's also a safer bet for people who have maybe a financial crunch, maybe would like to
Uh-huh.
take up a job very quickly.
Right.
I recommend people to take up a diploma rather than
Hmm.
they complete their 12th, then they complete a BSc program. Better to
Hmm.
take up a diploma course, because
Got it.
diploma will at least will give you a maybe a professional degree which is very close. So
Right.
something like.
So Komal, is it also like that, that as you said, that, children can do it after 10th, class 10, they can go for this diploma course. Also, I see one more possibility here, and that is some children don't make it to that kind of marks to get entry in a science college,
Right.
and yet they have the aptitude of getting into engineering.
Correct.
So, do you feel this is a good way to go about it in case you've scored a little lesser marks and you still have the aptitude and you need to get into this?
Absolutely. I think I'd like to say that this is was exactly my case after 10th.
Hmm. Okay.
That when I completed my 10th class, I was not that great, and my marks weren't that great that I would qualify for a very good science college. So we opted for an option which was a diploma. And the advantage of diploma is that when you will complete your diploma, you will already have a certain kind of a professional degree.
Right.
which will be considering you are like a diploma in mechanical engineering. So you could get a job very quickly, rather
Got it.
than if you opt for a BSc or an MSc program wherein you will have to complete your course. That will be a 5-year course or a 4-year course. So people who want to quickly look up to employment, maybe they are not looking for a longer term vision, because
Right.
for a longer vision it's always recommended to complete a bachelor's degree, which
Got it.
I also did in full time.
Mhm. So the advantage of a bachelor's degree, I understand, is that it can get you into the government circuit, while a
uh,
diploma wouldn't. Is that so?
Actually, you're right. In that sense, yes, you're right. That a bachelor's degree is mandatory when I am applying for a civil services examination.
Right.
So we haven't still discussed maybe what are the
Mhm.
options. So I will also discuss at that point of time
Sure.
that where a mechanical engineer can switch into. So yes,
Right.
you're right. And also, a bachelor's engineer gets paid more compared to a diploma engineer, because end of the day he has an extra qualification and has gone through a little more rigorous process. So if you want to opt for a long term future, it's better to complete your bachelor's course in a full time form and then seek employment. So that's a trade off that some of the people have to take in life in terms of what they should do.
Right. And in the current scenario, what changes do you see coming up in the future? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. So, for talking about the mechanical engineering as a field, normally whenever when we started engineering around 13 and a half years ago, it was used to be told as the evergreen field, because whatever changes you might make, to make those changes, you will need mechanical engineers. So, mechanical engineers would be required. It's not that they would go out of fashion, so that'll be there. But what's happening is that the mechanical engineers are now also fitting into the IT field. So they are moving on to data science, data analytics. They are moving into project management and procurement management. And so they are drifting themselves from the core field of mechanical engineering. And that's also a good thing, because not everybody can be employed into the design part of engineering. They have to also look at the allied parts. And that's graduating very quickly. People are adaptive to a lot of automation techniques for manufacturing, and that's the big buzzword. If we talk about the 3D printing, that's something that people are looking at very quickly, building a lot of components. So that's something is there, it's catching up with the mechanical engineers, so they need to upgrade themselves.
Uh, Kamal, what I see is, as you just said, you shared so much of insights into about the engineering part of it. I come to a conclusion that there are a lot of scope. There is a huge scope out there, and also opportunities to grab.
Correct.
So, can students go for engineering, opt in for engineering? Because when we speak about engineering, they say, oh, you're an engineer. Oh, you're taking up engineering. What's your future? There's a question mark along with it. What's your future? There's no future.
Correct.
That's how it is
Correct.
put. So this is the reason we are having this talk today. To put some proper light on this and get it out there, the right information for the students.
True. uh, just to take it forward, you're right about the employability of engineers today has gone down considerably. The recent report said around 45% of the engineers weren't even employable after completion of their course. So the kind of feeling that you said right now, that you're doing engineering, so what is your future today? Because maybe 5 7 years ago, doing engineering was the cream thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
you are doing engineering. So now it's like, okay, you're doing engineering. So it has changed from that point of view, because the engineering colleges have increased rapidly, and there
Okay.
is a lot of autonomy being allotted to colleges to change their syllabus, change and also reduce their minimum criteria for acceptance.
Right.
So it has moved to a form which is more towards a business angle, churning out engineers without looking whether they will be employed, or they,
Correct.
so many engineers are needed. If I'm turning on 50,000 engineers a year, what are they going to get as a
Right.
job? So from that point of view, yes, it has changed, but people are now also looking at engineering abroad. So that's also an option that a lot of colleagues from my batch also did.
Mhm.
They moved ahead from mechanical engineering. They completed their bachelor's here, and they completed the masters of engineering there. So that's an
Okay.
advantage that you could do.
So whatever the student would study here in India and then continue further abroad, so is it accepted, or again they have to go through some kind of entrance test or some kind of thing to
Yes.
admit
Uh,
themselves?
Actually, there is an entrance test for those colleges as well. For MBA, you would have a GMAT. That's a test that you will need if you want to do an MBA abroad. You will need a GRE test if you want to do an engineering master's course abroad. So what happens is that they test your aptitude. They also look at your academics, and your previous education is taken into account. It's not that you start afresh. You join their master's program. You have already done with your bachelor's, and then there's a 2 years master program, and a lot of students do that, and then they might pursue their further jobs there, or either look to come back. So both options are open, but this is a good viable option that people take for a couple of years. Pursue your course abroad, understand, take up and look up opportunities there, and maybe looking at the bigger dream rather than surrounding yourself in a smaller well or so.
So Kamal, coming to this, taking it further from here. Now, if a student is looking out for an engineering college, should the what are the things a student or the parent should look out for before enrolling into private institute or a college? Because we also get to hear this particular college or this particular institute is not registered correctly, and therefore the certificate becomes invalid and the
Correct.
child loses, x number of years. What would you like to say about this?
It's a very good point that you raised at this point, because as I indicated previously in my discussion, that the amount of engineering colleges that have come up, and now there is also a concept which is known as deemed to be university. I think a lot of people must have heard this concept that this college is deemed to be university. So this college itself can give you certificates. Yeah. So first thing I tell people, whoever come to me for, asking about colleges, I ask them to look at the affiliation with the university of the state or the city, because affiliation with the university always brings a little more credibility, and people want to look for a college which has credibility. That's one. Second is that check for some alumni that have passed out from that college, because it becomes difficult to know the college from the website, because the website is always great, and people cannot travel so frequently. So look at alumni. You could find them on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. Some college alumni, contact them, speak to them. That's one thing. Also look at their placement records, because a lot of college generate these courses taken a lot of people, but they are not able to provide placements, and that is a big drawback. And that's where you should weigh those options and look at affiliation with maybe the Mumbai University or the Anna University. Whatever university you are working with, look at that as the primary criteria. If that is there, then look for enrolling it. Otherwise, I would tell you to stay away, because you'll spend a lot of time, money, and end of the day this would become a little gray area certificate.
So, my dear friends, you see, you go on those social platforms, and there's a lot that you can do besides staying socially
Correct.
connected. Do your research well, get into it, because it is not just that, your parents are working hard for you, but also you have put in your own years of studies to get to this level, and from this level to level next. So be active, get your research correct in place, ask if you need any help, any advices, any kind of information. You can always connect to Step Up Lives, and they are there to help you out, to give you further information, to get you counseled on this as well. And then you take the right step in the right direction.
Correct.
So a few minutes, a few days will add value to your future. And this is the
Correct.
reason Step Up Lives is here to step up your life. Now,
Correct.
going further down, Kamal, uh,
Yep.
I would like to ask you one very, this is a personal question, of course, it goes
Yeah.
this way. Uh, would you recommend personally for students to go in for mechanical engineering?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you with my personal experience of last 10 plus years of, I mean, in the industry, people coming up to us that should we to go for mechanical engineering or going for computer science, because this is something a big trade-off every single person faces a long time. Because I have seen a lot of children coming to us that everybody wants to go to IT. Everybody wants to take up computer science as the option completely. They don't want to go for the core fields. The reason they don't want to opt for a core field is because you might have to work in a factory, you might have to work in another location. So they are a little hesitant in that respect. So what is my point of view is that if your child really wants to has an interest in the area of computer science and coding, then the IT field suits better for them. But for somebody who's a little more creative in the sense of doing things physically and building things together, that makes a lot of sense if you could do with a mechanical engineering profile. And another thing I want to point out at this juncture, an IT engineer cannot be employed in a mechanical engineering company, but a mechanical engineer can definitely be employed in a IT company, because mechanical courses have included data structures, computer programming, and all that stuff together with them. That makes a mechanical engineer able to fit to a lot of companies. And that is where I tell people that if you complete mechanical engineering and you feel that, yeah, I'll have to stay here for all my life, so that's not true. Because if you complete your course and still not so keen on continuing, you have an option to switch to IT. And that's a big advantage when you do mechanical. But if you do IT, I am telling you very clearly at the outset, you cannot be employed in a mechanical company. And that's where my choice is that opt for a mechanical one, right? Opt for a mechanical course. You still have an option at end of 4 years to make your choice. But if you made IT as your choice, you're done.
Right. That's a great insight, Komal. Being mechanical engineer gives you an option. Still, it gives you an option in your life to switch as and when required. Now, I want you to share your personal experience as a mechanical engineer.
Yeah. So when I talk about a mechanical engineer, firstly, what is a daily role of a mechanical engineer? If I talk about mechanical engineers could be employed to various roles within an organization, leading to first important role is the engineering design, wherein you have to look at components have to be designed in a manner that they perform a particular function. So if you have maybe a handle, then this handle has to be like a person should be able to put their hand around it. It should not hurt them. You have to also look at whether this handle can be manufactured, not just designed, because that's a very
Right.
big important aspect that people miss out. That people only look at the aspect of design. They don't look whether this component can be manufactured very easily. So that is one area that people can do. Another thing is regarding project management of engineering projects, because engineering projects involve a lot of components to be bought, assembled, and stuff. So my experience has been quite enriching, and honestly speaking, it's very fulfilling to see what you imagined and created in real life. So
Okay.
first time when I completed a design and
Mhm.
on my computer and went on to manufacturing and it was built in front of me in real life, which was
Right.
almost, I mean, 5 times the size of myself, and I could
Okay.
just look up and feel so good, and I could remember, oh, this is what I did, this is why I did, and I could see the achievement. So you
Right.
feel accomplished when you see the final product. So that's a very I mean, a feeling of like you planned it and it happened like that. So it's like a feeling of a creator, that
Uh,
God create things and creates their everything on earth. So that is the feeling. So I feel very nice when I am doing my design and all that stuff. So it's a very good experience, I can say.
Komal, you answered my question without questioning. I was about to ask you what what is your most memorable experience and the feeling of being a mechanical engineer? So
Yeah,
was that the
yes.
one, or you've got something more memorable to speak to it?
No, I think the first design that we made
Okay.
at my company, and earlier people used to tell me that, but only to hear people say that, and experiences is a very different thing, because people say that you will feel very accomplished. But I said, "Kya, oh, we made it. Now we know how it looks. We have
Right.
already seen the 3D model of it. What's the fun in looking it in real life, na? So what do you think?" So then people are like, when you will feel it, only then you will have that wow factor.
Right.
So that is there. And I mean, I can see a lot of people commenting about this wow factor, talking
Yeah.
about the feeling of achievement, and
Mhm.
that is really good, and that happens when you do things and you achieve it. Although there are a lot of challenges in between, I must say it's not that easy to
Of course.
convince so many people to work for your design.
For your design, right.
So everybody is like, no, no, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. So
Right.
to come so many people to come together to do it, and it is teamwork. I would not say the engineering and the mechanical design part only works, everything else also has to work for a thing to succeed.
So you spoke about being a team worker, being so humble. So let me ask you, what are the tools of your trade to be a creator at this?
Firstly is that the fundamentals of physics a little bit are missing in a majority of the engineers. What I have seen whenever I've interacted with the young engineers, what they've done is that they have learned from the examination point of view and
Mhm.
not the physical aspect of it. And whenever we talk about the physical aspect of it, and they are amazed, I'm like, dude, you were supposed to know that. It's not that the physical aspect or the physical aspect of gravity, for example, of friction, simple things that make so much difference in your thought process if you're somebody who's uh, doing it with understanding. And that's what I tell people, do it with understanding, and that is something is very important. And that's the thing. And also keep upgrading your tools in terms of that are required in terms of 3D modeling softwares, because that is
Mhm.
something that's a good requirement for a mechanical engineer. Also involves some analysis softwares,
Mhm.
because these analysis softwares help you analyze your mechanical design, and then you will be able to prove to people that once it is manufactured it will not fail. So nobody
Right.
wants to put so much money before you show them an analysis that yeah, this will work under so much of load, work, and all that stuff. So it'll be nice. Yeah.
So, Kamal, before we say thank you to everybody, I would love you to give a message to all the viewers and the students out there who would like to or even think about pursuing mechanical engineering.
Uh, Thank you, Derek, for this opportunity. Actually, I normally don't talk about mechanical engineering whenever I am on Step Up Live. So, but today I got this opportunity to share. So, while I give the message, I will also talk about one of the questions that was on the stream regarding the MBA as well as the mechanical engineering. I suggest people to take up mechanical engineering as a professional course, and you still have a lot of options when you combine yourself with a master's degree, which is an MBA, and that makes it a very cutting edge kind of a role, because
Mhm.
in your engineering you are all into the technical background of it, and when you're into your management course of business
Right.
administration, then you learn the finances as the management point of view. So
Sure.
when you are a techno commercial kind of a professional, barely people could fool you. I can only say that, because
Right.
MBAs can be easily fooled, we say, with our technical jargons, and the technical people can easily be fooled by a financial jargon.
Financial
So
jargon.
then when you do combine that kind of a
Mhm.
stuff, I think you will go a long way. That's all my message, that I would recommend definitely people to go for mechanical engineering as a course, and you will have a lot of options to switch around. That's all.
Thank you so much for that insight, Komal. And my dear friends, if you still have queries, questions, and thoughts about mechanical engineering or anything related to your career, do come on the Step Up Lives page, and we are here to help you. And thank you for joining us today, and we will see you very soon in the future. And stay safe, and thank you. Thank you, Komal.
Thank you. Bye, guys.